Somewhere, there's still a hobbit in New Zealand with a squeegee trying to clean up after the Dead Alive production team. Another hobbit has been stuck to the floor for weeks. In this yarn wall, Jason and I trudge through the rest of this slop and focus on a few character actors and a true Gore-a-torium pioneer. And then sometime later, we finally reveal next week's movie. Cue the music.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
And now for our lesson.
So, cold coffee, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Cold coffee, what, Benadryl, muscle relaxers.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like you would be able to control time and space if you drank cold coffee and took Benadryl.
So, what you're saying is you can do that, right?
Yeah. That's how they got beyond the black rainbow in that movie.
So, can you go to the end of the show and tell me how good it is?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've been there. Been there, done that. I'm not going to tell you, though.
I don't want you to be disappointed.
Yeah. I'll hit you with it at the very end.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
By the way, that was a really crappy show.
Well, dude, I didn't mean to.
Mm-hmm. But you did it anyway.
I did it anyway. I got trapped.
Okay. Like a rabbit, you tried to gnaw your own paw off.
I guess you could say that. Yeah, sure. But rabbit's feet are supposed to be lucky, right? We'll see if this is a lucky show.
Okay. Now you've doomed us.
And you know how that happens sometimes, that you just get down a hole and you
Sure.
just keep going further and further. And you're like, holy shit, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I didn't know that.
Holy crap, I'm not going to remember any of this.
No. I didn't take notes during that dive.
Oh,
I
man.
just
stream of consciousness.
speaking of dive, I watched a movie with my daughter the other day.
Uh-huh.
And we were folding laundry. This is just how I tempted her. I'm like, hey, watch a movie with me. Hey, while we're sitting here, let's fold laundry.
Oh, man. Classic misdirect.
It worked. Of course, we were like, this movie sucks. Let's just get through this laundry.
What was it?
But we watched 47 meters down, Uncaged.
Oh, is that like a sequel?
Yeah, the sequel.
Oh, no. You sure it wasn't those ones where they like spell it slightly different and it's a completely like those Asylum movies? Don't they do that? They have like transmorphers instead of transformers.
Yes, right. No, this was the sequel, and it was not very good at all. It was
Crap.
47 meters down, Uncaged, 2019. It's on freaking Amazon now.
Okay.
And it's got Sistine Rose Stallone in it.
What is that?
That is Sylvester Stallone's daughter.
Oh.
Yes, her name is Sistine Rose.
Oh, I thought it was like a type of morning tea or something.
And, you know, the setup's not great.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has John Corbett in it, which I really like him. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't off the top of my head.
Let's see, he was in Northern Exposure.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I got you. I know what you're talking about.
But he was also in, you know, Sex and the City.
Right,
so
right.
That just like, you know, that knocks him down a bit. But I saw him just recently in another TV show or something, and I enjoyed him. I like him, but
Oh, yeah. That guy's in everything.
yeah, he just shows up.
And they're obligated to give him a role.
I guess so. But so these girls are they're diving down below in this ancient Mayan ruins or whatever, wherever they are.
Like crappy CGI diving or actual people in water?
No, it looks like they're people in water. They're in a pool at least.
Cool.
So the sharks, I guess, have been down there for quite some time, and so they're pale and basically they're blind because there was no light down there. Okay. So they've just evolved, and they're all beat up and scarred up, and it's a CGI shark movie. What do you want?
I think they got that idea from the, remember when they said there was that Greenland shark that was like as old as Shakespeare or something? Remember that?
Wait, is Shakespeare still alive?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a long ago time. No, they were saying it was like, I don't know, like 600 years old or something.
I don't know anything about it. Tell me more.
That's it.
Okay, that's all you got.
Scientists said it was 600. I believe them.
All right. So anyway, I mean, it wasn't a great shark movie. Well,
why'd you bring it up?
They don't even kill a shark. They kill 0 sharks in this movie.
How many times does Samuel L. Jackson say... Wait, Samuel L. Jackson's not in it, is he?
No. He was in, what shark movie was he in? Deep Down Below or Deep Blue Sea? Okay. Deep Down Below.
Was that one where he gave that stirring talk to everyone and then shark bit his arm off?
Immediately
in
died.
Slow motion. Was that Huey Bowl?
Don't think so.
Anyway, I think Thomas Jane rides a shark for something.
No, that's Rennie Harlan.
Rennie Harlan, that's it. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Anywho.
Anyway, shark movies.
Yeah, some of them good.
Sometimes they stink.
One of them really good. The rest of them,
I think I saw 47 meters, whatever.
The original.
Yeah, the original. It wasn't bad.
Right.
It was kind of fun.
Enough that they made a stupid sequel to it.
Right.
Sometimes those are fun to watch. Sometimes they're just not.
So other than that, I've been kind of lame on watching movies this last week.
Well,
we've been watching The Stand, of course,
How's that going for you?
I like it. I dig it.
We only watched the first episode. But yeah, it was looking promising.
Anyway, so we just came off of Dead Alive, a.k.a. Brain Dead, 1992.
Voted world's gloopiest movie.
Gloopiest? Grossest? Actually, it has in there in the trivia says it was said to be the goriest movie ever. The bloodiest movie of all time.
Drop for drop.
Yeah.
But God, I mean, Evil Dead, or both Evil Dead movies, but definitely the second one, wouldn't you? I mean, that's got to be up there somewhere.
I don't know. Is there a breakdown of gory movies? We need to find this.
They used to do that to avoid like X ratings by making blood a different color, just turning it green or black or something. Do you know if Sam Raimi did it for that reason, or if it just looked cool to have like, red blood and then green blood and then like milk thrown in for no reason? Imagine the cats that were around that, like at the end of the first one.
So here we go. I've got on ScreenRant.com, the 15 bloodiest horror movies of all times.
Wow. Number
15, Nightmare on Elm Street. So when Johnny Depp gets pulled into the bed.
Yeah, just for that.
Yep, looks like it. This says the building of a rotating set. The crew were suspended upside down as 80 gallons of water and red paint poured into the ceiling.
Huh.
It was a one-shot take.
Fuck.
So 80 gallons.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Number 14, House of a Thousand Corpses. 13, Hatchet 3.
I definitely didn't see the third one. I saw the first one.
I saw the first one, didn't see the second one or third. But I think, didn't Danielle Harris come back for part 2 and 3 maybe?
I do not know. I've never seen him. Need to get him.
We need to get in there. Number 12 is Carrie.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't actually say. I wish it was break down more what makes it this.
Yeah.
It just gives a little synopsis, and we know where the pig's blood. And
a lot of that was like slow motion, so are we talking like screen time or just total fluids?
Read the Screen Rant thing. I'll put a link up on the website.
Yeah.
Number 11 is ABCs of Death
Cool.
2.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, part 2.
Did you see part 2? Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't see either one of these. Are they any good?
Yeah, the first one's really good.
Super, super short movies or what?
Yeah, they're like a VHS or little anthology.
But are they going through the entire ABC? I mean, the 26 different films? Is that what it is?
Surely.
It says here, everyone loves a good horror anthology, but ABC's of Death series is often overlooked, taking 26 different directors and giving them all a letter of the alphabet to weave their horror magic.
I mean, it says it right in the title, but I don't know if yeah, I guess so.
That would have to be, what, 5 to 7 minutes long?
Right.
Oh, I don't know if I have the mental capacity or...
to retain it. I mean, obviously I don't, because I fucking don't remember shit.
I left off at E. Number 10 comes in at Freddy versus Jason. Using over 300 gallons of fake blood.
Wow, Jesus.
That's crazy.
I don't remember that movie being... It must be like Nightmare, where it's like one particular death is just like gallons and gallons.
Number 9 is Frontiers.
Ooh.
I still have not seen
I
that.
think it was one of the 8 movies to die for. It's got a hobbit in it.
I had this on a burnt DVD way back when. Never watched it.
Well, I watched it because... Oh, no, that's not the one. Borderlands is the one with the hobbit. And it's about Satan.
Ah.
Frontiers is the one with the weird girl that can't put her arms down. She has like stoop neck syndrome.
Is that what they call it? Okay.
I shouldn't be.
Look it up, guys. This is medical terms.
Yeah, it's not my...
You are not familiar with.
I am not a doctor. But it did have a very cool, let's just say there was an Achilles heel and a bolt cutter that had a meeting together. Ooh.
A little worse than Pet Sematary?
Much worse, yeah.
Now I want to play with you.
Where is that kid?
Yeah, exactly. What happened to him?
I'm saying realtor.
Now I'm going to say Bible salesman.
Professional dog puncher. I don't even know what that means.
A chimney sweep.
They still do that?
Number 8 comes in with Evil Dead 2013.
I watched a few scenes from that the other day. And man, that was... I took my wife to see that.
I saw it at the theater too, and it was unnerving.
Oh yeah, it was more than I ate up every bit of all the stuff that came out before the movie. I just could not wait to see the movie. I mean, I love the originals, but I love that story too. And I guess in the back of my mind, I thought they might try to make it funny as well, or at least like kind of slapstick. And no, it was not. There's nothing funny.
Nope.
The only thing that was slightly funny is the blonde like friend, basically just like demon fodder, starts like shooting that nail gun into her face, and then then the demon leaves, and then she's like, "Why does my face hurt?"
Yes.
I mean, I giggled at that a little bit, but other than that, it was pretty... there's not a lot of chucks in that one.
Nope. No.
Up chucks.
Yes. Number 7, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
Yeah. I love Cabin in the Woods. Saw it at the theater, and
there's that hallway scene that is like the last time I think my wife watched it with me, and I paused it like frame by frame just to see all the there's a lot going on.
Very, very gross. Number 6 is Martyrs.
Oh man, I knew that was going to be on there somewhere.
Another one I still haven't seen.
Really? That's a must watch. There's not a lot of, newer movies that are just, it's so bad, so good. They made a remake of it, and people hated it. I never saw it, but
So go back to the original.
Yes.
Is it French?
yeah, it is French.
Put those on my list.
Make a note of that.
Number 5 comes in with Piranha 3D.
Never seen it. Is that the one with isn't Ving Rhames in that one?
Maybe.
Never saw it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Nope, never saw it.
But you can imagine.
Number 4, Hostel Part 2. And I think that's probably, and I think in part 2, there was, that one lady who had a girl strapped upside down, slit her throat, and just bathed in her blood. That was, yeah.
And that girl that she killed was,
a famous little nerd girl, wasn't it? It was, she's
yes, famous nerd girl. I can't think of I can't quite picture her face.
Heather Matazzaro.
And she has been in...
She was Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that movie. Yeah. She was in a couple of things around that time. She was kind of an indie, Princess Diaries. It's not an independent movie. She was in Strangers with Candy.
She was in Scream 3, Devil's Advocate.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, enough about that, but still.
Number 3 comes in with Cannibal Holocaust. So, if you haven't seen Cannibal Holocaust, you can watch it once. That's all you need to see.
Yeah, donate to PETA if you feel like you must do something. That was really, really hard on turtles.
Yes, it was.
Turtle haters.
Number 2 is Saw Part 4.
Oh, man. I'm not even going to pretend.
I've seen all of them. After part 2, they all run together.
My favorite is when the candle burns the yarn and the needle like pops the balloon, and then the chicken is startled, so it has an egg, and then that rolls down a chute.
Perpetual motion machine.
Bowling ball in the pail.
Yeah.
That's what those movies are like, right?
Yeah.
Gross mousetraps.
What do they call that?
Mousetrap.
It's a Guggenheimer model or something.
No. It's God damn it. I would have had it. Well, let's go on. I'm sure one of us will think of it.
No, we won't.
No, we probably won't.
Caller on the line.
Yeah. You guys are fucking idiots. Whoa.
Shut up, Dad.
Settle down. We've got a caller we got to talk to first.
And number 1 is Dead Alive.
Wow.
And it says before Sam Jackson, damn it, before Peter Jackson was taking over Hobbit.
What if Peter Jackson and Samuel Jackson were brothers? Like a new twins kind of situation?
I would watch that. It says here over 1,000 gallons of the fake stuff were used. Oof. I don't know where they got their information, but I'm sure they had to just burn the set afterwards. Yeah. There was no cleaning this up.
No.
And the final scene, yeah, we already said that. It was reported around 300 liters of blood were pumped out of the lawnmower. That in that scene alone.
Oh my God. That was just like pieces like disintegrating in it, you know? I think all that was like practical. I don't think there was a lot of...
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's just
I don't think
amazing.
there was any real CGI in this film.
How would you even... I
think that was practical probably when they pulled the guy and his lower half was gone and all you see are just the bones. They pulled him through like the dumbwaiter.
Oh, that was fucking awesome. Rube Goldberg.
Hey, there you go. Oh, man.
Rube Goldberg machine.
And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
Yep. Well, you won't need to know it for another couple of years. So.
All right. So that breaks down the 15 bloodiest horror movies of all times.
Well, we're done.
From Screen Rant. Screen Rant.
Screen Rat.
Screen Rat.
You can get podcast after him. Cool.
Let me break in real quick and say, welcome to the Yarn Wall.
Oh, man. Where are we at? 30 minutes
20 minutes into the episode.
Hi.
All right. I am Tim Kornman, and with me, as always, is Jason Walker.
Hi. How are you?
Jason Bloodstream A positive Walker.
Yep. How did you know that?
I was guessing.
That's private information.
Now you know his Twitter handle.
Yep. Exactly.
Bloodletting A positive.
It's a long name.
Now that we're done with the episode,
yeah. feels like we did all we came here to do.
Oh,
talked about some gory movies. That's what we do, isn't it?
I think so. That was a cool little article. I should have pulled that up before and actually researched it and had some information for you guys, but we can't do everything for you. We got a yarn to go down.
Exactly. Gotta go down that yarn.
Let me just start in and say that the trail that I went down today was a little oddball because we're recording in advance, so I'm actually editing the yarn wall after Demonoid. So listening to a lot of Demonoid stuff and going down a different path. And of course, I can't stray, but I'm also following up on stuff that we may have gotten wrong.
Right.
But
we get stuff wrong?
No.
Okay.
I edit all that out.
Okay.
We are 100% correct.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Except for the name of John Rice Davies.
God.
Rise Davies. Whatever.
I think it's Reese. Like Reese's Pieces.
Oh. John Reese's Pieces Davies.
Yeah.
But I was looking at different things to post for Demonoid, trying to promote that as last week's show. And some of the clips are so hard to find. There's just not a lot out there. I found the clip with Dr. Biscuits.
Oh my God.
as he gets in the boss hog's car and then goes on a chase.
Yeah. God, that chase was wild.
It's over 2 minutes long.
God.
And I absolutely loved it.
At a certain point, I was like, what movie is this? Because I don't even remember what was happening before that car chase. And what happened to his busty nurse? Did she die?
Yeah, she was shot by the gun, remember?
That's right.
I posted that. There's a 10-second clip that she screams. The severed hand, demon hand, grabs the gun and shoots her in the back. She's dead. Boom. That's it. 10 seconds.
Makes you wonder. It's like, man, if that hand had gotten a hold of, like a machine gun or something, the movie would have been over 20 minutes.
So I mentioned Boss Hogg's car.
Uh-huh.
So I started looking at the Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay. Is it a Cadillac or a Lincoln? Where are we at?
Actually, I didn't even look that up.
What? You just said
Go
you
ahead
did.
and look that up. No, I didn't look up the car.
You just said I looked up Boss Hogg's, or we were talking about Boss Hogg's car.
Right. No,
well,
because that's what I was talking about in Demonoid, is it looked like he was driving Boss Hogg's car.
Yeah.
Therefore, I went to look at the Dukes of Hazzard and got trapped.
Whoa, man. What do we got? Tom Wopat.
Oh, my God.
Somebody the other day was calling him Anus instead of Enos. I was like, those two names are very similar.
Well, I'm going to talk about him too. God. But let's start at the top here and say that. So John Schneider. Why do you got to laugh at that?
That's just something I never thought I would hear on our podcast for some reason.
John Schneider, he's got 166 credits.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of work.
Yeah. He's not to be dismissed.
And I think we may have seen 2 of these movies. I mean, just in looking for some reason, everybody's like 6 foot tall or taller.
Really?
In this show, except for Boss Hogg, right? And Catherine Bach.
What is his name again?
Sorrel Brook. And we'll talk about him in a minute too.
Okay.
But John Schneider, in his trivia, said that he lied about his age to get onto the show. So he was 19.
Yeah, I mean, like, compared to Tom Wopat, he does look a lot younger.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like that little mustache that's like smoke. It's just like a little brown smoke over his lip.
Yeah.
Huh.
Dukes of Hazzard was on from 1979 to 1985.
Wow.
And spawned, I think, at least one reunion.
Okay.
And a couple of spin-offs because Enos had his own show.
He did. He did. Look, I live in the South. I've never met or heard of anyone named Enos.
No.
Is that like a biblical name or something?
Maybe. How about Cletus?
Cletus that's an accepted name.
Okay. Well, Cletus, wasn't that Jerry Reed's name in Smokey and the Bandit?
Maybe.
I think so. Quick trivia. What was the dog's name?
The dog? Oh, Flash. Of course.
Very good. Man, way to reel it in. Just testing you.
I watch Dukes of Hazzard and Fall Guy every day after school. I really did.
You're still watching Fall Guy.
Yeah, I am. Although, yeah, sure, I can point to some plot holes, but overall, whoa, Sid Haig was in Dukes of Hazzard.
Was he really? That's awesome.
Holy shit. Well, there's 333 pictures on the IMDb, so you're going to be there a while.
Wow.
Oh my God. I forgot about Nedra Voles.
Bless you.
She's like a Southern Zelda Rubinstein. Or Rubenstein.
Nice. Let me find her.
Oh man, you'll know exactly who it is.
R.G. Armstrong.
Yep. His clip pressed a picture of oh God, now I can't even think of his name. James Best.
Yes.
What the hell is the name of his character? Roscoe. Holy shit.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. Which, if you look at the trivia, Catherine Bach, John Schneider, everybody credits James Best as being like their mentor.
Yeah, I mean, he had definitely... I know he was in Attack of the Killer Shrews because I just watched it the other night.
Mm-hmm. And Return of the Killer Shrews.
Oh.
That was just recent.
Well, in the original, they're just dogs with pieces of carpet taped to them. And they're wagging their tails when they're attacking, which kind of takes away their scariness.
Well, Return of the Killer Shrews was 2012.
What?
And it was also known as Mega Rats. And it had John Schneider, James Best, Bruce Davidson,
Okay.
Rick Hurst, who also played Cletus. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a lot.
Food for thought.
That's a lot to get through.
And I can't go down to everybody's trail today because it would just take way too long and would turn into the Dukes of Hazzard cast.
Oh, God. I don't know if I could do that.
And I didn't even go through the entire cast of who was in this and played minuscule characters.
Yeah.
I think this show just had everybody.
Yeah. I see Bruce Glover, Mary Jo Catlett. If you see her, you'll be like, oh, yeah, obviously she was in it from the very beginning. Denver Pyle.
Fran Ryan.
Yes.
I mean, everybody connects back to this.
Of course.
I see Bill Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about him too many times.
Don't forget that there is a character named Cooter.
Cooter.
That's his Christian name. Cooter R. Johnston.
Ben Jones, who played Cooter, if you look at his stuff, very interesting. He's 6'3".
Okay.
Everybody was huge in this. Ben Jones, he was in the House of Representatives.
Oh, wow.
He's a Democratic member of Congress. He also owns Cooters, a tourist attraction and museum in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, my God. Lay your jacket down before you sit on anything in Cooters. You're not going to want to touch a lot of stuff.
So Enos, played by Sonny Schroyer.
Okay.
It's a hard name to say.
That is a hard name.
It wasn't on very long.
Yeah.
It was 18 episodes. But it got me to looking at his stuff, and I looked at the Devil and Max Devlin.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen that before.
Elliot Gould and Bill Cosby.
Brill Crosby. Ever since we're not allowed to say his real name. Just bring the show down.
I thought about this because you said that you're not a pudding person.
Right.
And I got to thinking about pudding pops and wondered, Jason, were you touched by a Huxtable?
No, not that I remember, but pudding pops are fine. It's just loose pudding that I don't like. Here's two things that I don't want. I don't want my pudding to be loose, and I don't want it to be warm.
Loose pudding. Was that your band name back in high school?
Yep. So we got sued. Apparently there was already but it was loose pudding.
Oh, okay. Now, Schroyer, was that his name? Schroyer?
Vern Troyer? Is that your
Yeah. He was a motorcycle cop in Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
If you can kind of picture that, a motorcycle cop going off into a creek, I think that rings familiar.
I definitely can picture that.
He got his start, though, in 1972 in a movie called 16. God, all right, which reads...
Already sounds disgusting.
And it is, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
A blooming teenage redneck
blooming onion
and her naive brother are targeted by a pair of slick carnival performers who take advantage of her virginity and the family's small fortune gained from a recent land grant. Yeah.
How many Van Pattens are in that movie?
I think it's Van Patten free. Yeah. Who's Buddy Foster? Buddy Foster. He was Wolf Boy in $6 Million Man. You should pick that out.
Well, he was dressed as Wolf Boy. I don't know what he looks like in real life. I'm looking around here. I can see how you can get mired down in the Hazard verse or the Duca verse.
Both of those work.
I'm going to say Hazard verse.
Okay.
Do you think Roadhouse happened in the Hazard verse?
Ooh.
What if there had been a crossover?
Yeah, that would work. So enough about Enos here. Let's just keep moving because I'm still going to get mired down. Rick Hurst, who played Cletus. He is 6'5".
Jesus. His hair is awesome.
He was in Going Ape.
Oh, of course he was.
Tony
Dan.
I think he was one of the apes. He was also in The Cat from Outer Space.
Oh, okay.
Which I had seen many times.
Yes, I think I have too. I don't know what On the Rocks is, but he's in jail, and he looks like Ed Kemper with the blue shirt on and stuff. Which is disturbing. Rick Hurst wasn't a serial killer, was he?
Maybe. Rick Hurst has a son, Ryan Hurst.
Okay.
Ryan Hurst is probably most famous right now for playing Beta in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
He was in the TV show, short-lived, The Outsiders.
Okay.
He played Opie in Sons of Anarchy. You can't miss him.
Right.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Just like his dad. He's like 6'3", 6'4 3/4. I'm sorry. Anyway, I like Ryan Hurst. He's got this long flowing hair that has become like his thing. He was also in 15 episodes of Bates Motel, which if you've never seen that, it's worthy. It's good.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I've never seen it.
Anyway, Ryan Hurst, Rick Hurst, Cletus, interesting stuff.
It is. It's very interesting.
Now let me go down Catherine Bach.
You're going to go...
Catherine Bach, it says in her trivia, because I was curious, down here it says no relation to Barbara Bach. So we got that going for us.
Oh my God. That really did confuse me. Of course, that's before the internet, I suppose, where you can just look it up. But
yeah. Denver Pyle, who played Uncle Jesse. He died at the age of 77, which I thought he was at least that old. But no, he was in his 60s, Dukes of Hazzard. But he's got 263 credits.
Wow, really?
Which a ton of it was TV shows.
Yeah.
He played Mad Jack in The Life and Time of Grizzly Adams.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I really was about to say that I don't remember him from anything else, but yeah.
14 episodes of Gunsmoke and Bonanza. Did you ever look at Bonanza to see that there were 430 episodes of Bonanza?
No.
Unbelievable.
It was on forever.
That was actually just the first season. 430 episodes.
Wow. So they did like 12 episodes a day. They're just like, oh. They just live on the set. They actually became those people.
The set. Gunsmoke was 635 episodes. 20 seasons.
And that's not Peter Graves.
James Arness.
Yes, James Arness. He also played the monster in The Thing from Another Planet.
Awesome.
The movie that The Thing was, well, I guess
right.
It was based on the book, but you know what I mean, guys.
I know what you mean. They might know, but I know what you mean. That's all that matters. You're talking to me, not them, right?
That is true.
This yarn wall, this whole podcast is just so we can talk to each other for hours and hours and have an excuse to talk about movies.
I mean, that's what we were doing before. We just weren't recording.
Right. So let's go on to Sorrel Brook.
If we must. What the hell kind of a name is that?
Okay. Boss Hog himself, 5'6".
Ugh. It's like a sausage in a suit.
In his trivia, was only slightly overweight and had to wear a fat suit, making him 5 feet around.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, he is shaped like Danny DeVito a little bit.
Yeah. Well, 5'6". I saw an early picture of him in something. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
It goes way back.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, he has that like double, triple chin.
Right.
But he's not really.
He's making that happen. That's his act.
Yeah.
That's like when they call cut, he's like, oh, like he was really holding it in.
There was a movie, 1972 called The Manhunter.
Okay.
And there's only 5 pictures. And in one of those pictures, you get to see him kneeling down. Basically, he's being held hostage or something. And he looks thinner than me.
Huh.
But he's pushed his head back and he's got that double chin.
Yeah. It's like something you do to like piss off your folks if you were having like family pictures or something. Just like make a little. It's called doing the boss hog. Now, since I just said it. There's 58 pictures of Sorrel, and it's not Brooke, it's Book.
Oh,
it's a very weird name.
Yeah.
But
thank you for correcting me there.
I would say 75% of the pictures on his IMDb are from Dukes of Hazzard, and 70% have some type of food being stuffed into his mouth. One of those pictures looks like he's eating a raw pork chop or something.
Oh, great.
Maybe that's just craft services for him. Just bring him a plate of any type of meat.
Bring me a plate of Alfredo Garcia.
Yes.
So Sorrel Book, is it Book? Bookie?
That's what it says.
Book. Edmundo Boca. Boca?
Boca. Who's got the Boca?
He was also in The Cat from Outer Space. I clicked down here on something called Devil Times 5.
Okay, now hang on, because if I don't say this right now, I will forget. There is an actor in Gunsmoke, I think, named Chubby Johnson. And I'm not, I'm looking at it right now. Chubby Johnson.
That was your CB handle back when you were a truck driver.
Yeah, he's the one that made all those shirts in like the late 80s and the early 90s. Okay, clicking off of that forever. Sorry, I just...
That had to be said. Sorrel book or bookie, Devil Times 5, 1974.
Is this a biker picture?
Nope. Also known as People Toys.
I don't know which is worse.
It reads, after 5 deranged children are involved in a bus wreck, they start killing people at the lodge who insulted them or were rude to them.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm interested in this. If you look at photo number 1, there's somebody in a deep, bloody bathtub.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a Swiss Army pocket knife stuck into his neck.
You know, that as a weapon, that just doesn't work. I'm sorry. I wasn't even trying to be funny. Stop trying to kill people with Swiss Army knives. Just give them a slight laceration.
Mm-hmm. It'll fold back over on your thumb and hurt you more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why don't they have locks on them?
This one looks pretty freaking interesting. If you look down here, one of the kids...
I know what you're going to say. I'm looking at him right now with that mushroom head.
Leif Garrett.
Well.
And I looked up Leif Garrett for a while.
Oh, boy.
I tell you, I got stuck.
How long do we have?
I'm not even to my deep dive.
Oh, my God.
There are 57 entries of trivia on Leif Garrett.
And 50 of them are that he paralyzed his friend when he wrecked his car.
Exactly. Which I didn't even really know anything about that. And I'll read it off here so our audience can hear it. He was sued by a former friend for a November 1979 car accident in which Garrett was driving a car and left the road and plunged 80 foot down a hillside.
Jesus.
That friend or former friend sued him for $7 million.
Surely that's chump change for Leif Garrett. He was like...
It was baby back then.
Well, yeah. I mean, until he probably just bought every drug in the world.
Yes. He began dating Justine Bateman in 1988.
But then again, who hasn't? It's unfair to Justine Bateman.
That his name is pronounced actually Lafe? Whatever.
What?
He's Leif Garrett. Lafe. I'm telling you, I'm going to smack somebody.
You're Leaf. You're always going to be Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Now get the hell out of here.
In the mid-1990s, he was spending $300 a day on heroin.
Oh, well, that doesn't seem like... Oh, well, yeah, heroin's bad for you, I guess. Thought that sounded reasonable for a minute.
In 2010, he estimated that he spent over $1 million on drugs since the age of 16.
Let's see the receipts. Those aren't a write-off. I wonder if you could write off drugs as like a cost of... I'm an actor.
It's part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my shoes that I had to buy for work.
Yeah. I wonder if Blue Cross Blue Shield has a heroin policy that you can... if you run out in the middle of the night. It's like AAA.
So there's also a girl down here I'd like to mention. She's playing a nun. Her name is Gail Smale.
Okay.
This is her only credit. I just had to mention her.
Yeah, I saw her earlier. I saw her. How do you feel after that? That was it, right? You just wanted to say her name?
If you had one credit from a little-known movie back in 1974, would you pay IMDb to keep your picture up there?
Is that how that works?
I think so. I think you have to pay for it.
Interesting.
I'm not positive. Somebody prove me wrong.
I don't know. I mean, how much are we talking? $5 a year or something? I'd do that.
I don't know.
I'd get in on that.
Anyway, Devil Times 5, I'm going to put this down as a movie that I need to see and will possibly cover in the future under a Gore-a-torium entry.
Yes, I think we should. And I think we should do all, that's a subgenre there is killer kids that you don't really, can't be a ton of them. There's the children. There's, I was trying to tell you that one day, and I don't even remember if I could think of the name of it. It was like, I think it was called Who Can Kill a Child.
Right.
And out of all of them that I mean, the children, the coolest thing about the children is like the plot, you know, but just like horror movie, I think Who Can Kill a Child is way more disturbing.
Okay.
They acted like they kind of took it seriously.
I've never seen that, but I guess you can go on with Village of the Damned.
Yeah.
How about Alice, Sweet Alice?
Well, it turned out to be it wasn't a child at the end.
Is that right?
Wait a minute. Now I'm mixing up the one with Donald Sutherland. What one is that?
That was...
in the little trench coat or the
right,
rain.
Don't Look Back.
Right. That's what I'm thinking of. Oops, that was a spoiler. You're going to have to cut that out if people haven't seen it in the last 50 years.
Spoiler alert.
Did you look up Nedra Voles, by the way? Might be too late to go back, but I just want you to know who, I mean, you'd be like, oh yeah, she's definitely dead, but I remember her. She was circling the drain back then.
Oh yeah, I know her. She kind of looks like Where's the Beef Woman? Right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in a movie called Dickwad.
Oh, I know. I saw that. What is that about?
Sorry. It's a short.
They film it at her funeral? Is that what she...
Maybe. Well, I'm going to trip over John Saxon here in just a minute, too.
I would trip over John Saxon over and over again, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Because he's just lying there.
Someone should.
In the middle of your floor. Somebody should really move him. All right. So let me go down on this little trek down to my deep dive now. Deep dives.
Okay.
And since you said you don't necessarily have a deep dive today, I
don't really. I have a couple of things to talk about, but who knows where they could go. I mean, who knew that Dukes of Hazzard would eat up 12 minutes, you know? So
12 minutes. We're an hour into the show.
What? What is happening?
Yes.
I lost time.
A couple of weeks ago, we're talking about John Milius. We were looking up some of his movies.
Yes.
I don't remember why. 1941, that's why.
Yeah.
Because he wrote the screenplay for 1941.
Right. He also wrote, I don't remember if I ever looked it up. Did he write Empire Strikes Back? Did he write Star Wars?
No.
He wrote one of those.
No, he didn't write any of those. And I cut that out of the show.
Man,
so you can,
wrong.
You can stop talking about it.
Who am I thinking of then is what I want to know.
I don't know. But he wrote Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
Red Dawn.
Great.
Extreme Prejudice. That was with Nick Nolte.
Yes.
Walter Hill film, right?
Oh, man. Yeah. I've seen that one quite a few times.
Isn't that just a dusty, dirty, sweaty movie?
It is.
Yeah. Geronimo, Clear and Present Danger. Really good stuff. But he wrote actually Evel Knievel back in 1971 when George Hamilton played Evel Knievel.
Oh, my God. I don't know that one. I've seen Viva Knievel.
Right. We've talked about that.
Yeah, but not... Why? I would love to know how that happened because he does not look anything like Evel Knievel. I wish Evel Knievel looked more like... like, who'd you say? George Harrison? Who?
George Hamilton, not Harrison, not the Beatles.
Oh, my name's George. I don't know.
So Milius also wrote Dirty Harry, Jeremiah Johnson, Magnum Force, Apocalypse Now. We've talked about that.
Used Cars.
Dillinger. You brought up Dillinger because of Warren Oates.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And what did you say?
What did I say? Used Cars. I like Used Cars.
He wrote the original screenplay for The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean.
Yep.
Paul Newman, Roy Jensen, and I'm going to go down two different treks here.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk about Jeannie Epper.
Okay.
Who, in The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, played, whore.
Oh, man.
But it looks like she also had her sisters there because Margot Epper and Stephanie Epper also played whores.
Okay.
Jeannie Epper is a stunt woman.
Okay.
Born in 1941. She has 156 credits in stunts.
Wow.
An unbelievable credit history that goes from like Logan's Run, Eaten Alive, Silver Streak. She was a stunt double for Jill Clayburgh in Silver Streak.
Okay.
Soylent Green, Poseidon Adventure, Play Misty for Me, Hello Dolly, because there were so many stunts. I think she was a stunt double for Walter Matthau in Hello Dolly.
Did that flip over the second story railing?
The Bionic Woman, she was a stunt double for Lindsay Wagner.
Okay, now I'm just getting caught up. Is this Jeannie, Stephanie, Margot?
It's Jeannie. Jeannie Epper.
Okay, got it.
She did stunts in 1941, the Ninth Configuration. Now, there were no women in the Ninth Configuration.
There were no women that, do you know if she was one of the chicks in the bar?
Maybe so. Maybe she was the one that got punched in the face.
Maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Whew. Thank you, because I was just like,
that would be pretty rough. Let's just shatter all of these candy glass beer bottles in her face. Can't we get a guy to do this? Okay, nope. I'm sorry. I'm like 20 seconds behind you because now I realize she looks very familiar, but now I'm wondering if it's one of her like sisters that I'm thinking of. Is she the one that got like the bolo in the head in Romancing the Stone? Is she like the sister? No, surely not.
No. She has a few credits here for actually acting. Mm-hmm. She was in Kill Bill Volume 2 as Miss Harmony. Couldn't pick her out.
I think she might have been the wife to Bo Svensson, maybe. He's the priest that's going to marry the bride.
Okay. So more on her credit history for stunts: Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Used Cars, Smokey and the Bandit 2, Caveman.
Oh, brother.
Death Trap, The Cannonball Run,
my God.
Poltergeist, Blade Runner, Beastmaster, The Man with Two Brains, The Final Terror, Romancing the Stone, Clue, Fletch.
Just naming all my favorite movies.
Yeah, exactly. Vamp.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. That's long time ago.
Where Are the Children? She was a stunt double for Nancy Allen in RoboCop.
That is amazing.
Amazing history. Total Recall, Christmas Vacation, Innocent Blood, Demolition Man, Beverly Hills Cop 3, Blown Away, Die Hard with a Vengeance. And look, as we're getting further and further in, she's getting older and still doing these stunts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
She did stunts in Mystery Men, Soldier. We talked about Soldier a lot. That was a good movie. Blade, Armageddon, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Kill Bill Volume 2, The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, The Book of Eli. Her last credit was Hot Pursuit in 2015.
Okay.
Add it up. She was born in 41. She was 74 years old doing stunts.
That's amazing.
That is incredible.
And insane.
Very insane.
Hey, little tie-in here. I guess we brought it up. Maybe. I am, of course, just looking through the images for Romancing the Stone. And Ted White plays the cowboy at the very beginning when she is reading from her romance novel.
Oh, okay. See, we knew he was in it, didn't know from where. Awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now I got to get my eyes on that.
Yep. It is number 49.
That is awesome stuff.
And then, there's a girl that looks like Kathleen Turner, but her face is kind of in shadow. And I was like, well, maybe that's her.
Maybe that's her.
I don't know. Couldn't tell. Her face is in shadow. That was a good movie.
Kathleen Turner was so cute
Good
back
Lord.
then. Oh, unbelievably.
And Zach Norman.
These are just a few of Jeannie's credits. I mean, every major film
Yeah.
in the last 30 years she was attached to.
You named some that were probably being like overlapping filmed at the same time. It was boom time for her in like the mid 80s
and 90s. She's just crazy busy.
It's awesome.
I didn't mention Sword and the Sorcerer.
I remember that. You remember that one? Matt Houston.
A long time ago.
Bull from Night Court.
But Jeannie Epper, her sister Stephanie, by the way, is also a stunt person. And she has 45 credits under her name.
Oh, man.
Which include, you just mentioned it, Mitchell.
I like it when you say it just normal. Mitchell. I wonder if, oh man, I just can't imagine what stunts we might have seen that she was. Hey, and since we're talking about Mitchell, and kind of always are, I was trying to find, I don't remember if I talked to you about this, but do you know, back in the day, I'm sure I brought this up, that there is a helicopter pilot that was just in everything back then.
Oh, my foot is huge.
Yeah. That guy, I just could not get any type of confirmation.
Okay.
But that dude, you only see him for a second, you know, he was my partner for 20 years, kind of scene. If there was ever a helicopter pilot that was visible in a movie, it was always that guy.
Really?
I couldn't nail down what that guy's name was, so I don't know. I don't know why I brought it up.
Muy interesante.
Yeah.
All right. Out of Jeannie Epper's information here, I just wanted to bring up, in her trivia has here, during the filming of Foxy Brown, Epper told Pam Grier's stunt double to take a step forward before hitting her with a huge painting in a heavy frame during a fight scene. The stunt double forgot to take the step forward and ended up hitting Epper with the frame and cracked her skull open.
What? No. And then Antonio Fargas drug her back to his apartment while she was unconscious. No, I don't know. I don't know if he's like that at all. Probably, but I don't know.
What does Antonio Fargas sound like?
Oh, he's like, hey, he's sort of like, well, you know, he is the guy in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker that has goldfish in his shoes.
Yes.
So you're getting that type of, he's a bombastic pimp. That's another good band name. I'm going to write that down. Bombastic pimp. Now I'm going to mail this to myself.
Okay.
I can't afford a lawyer.
Here's a picture of Jeannie Epper and Zoe Bell together.
I saw that. She's like, you want me to throw you through the window?
That was pretty good.
For old time's sake.
So my other deep dive, this is an honorable mention.
Oh my God.
I know I have been talking nonstop. My real deep dive is from the same movie, Life and Times of Judge Leroy. Not Leroy.
bad Leroy Brown? Is that what you were going for?
Of Judge Roy Bean.
That is a long...
Oh, it's this horrible long title. But I'm going to talk about Richard Farnsworth.
Oh, man.
Richard Farnsworth, he has only 92 credits to his name for acting. We probably best know him as the police officer in Misery, right?
Okay.
He gets pushed down the stairs. He gets stabbed or kicked or shot or I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Thrown down the stairs in Annie's basement.
Right.
He's been in a ton of films, a lot of Westerns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It goes way back to 1937 for his acting.
Jesus.
Gunga Din, Gone with the Wind, Mighty Joe Young.
He was in Gone with the Wind?
Yeah. And Gone with the Wind, he was uncredited as a soldier.
Okay. Wow, that's fucking crazy.
Apple Dumpling Gang, Blazing Saddles, Papillon.
He was in Mighty Joe Young.
Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Another long title.
Yes, what do we got? Freebie and the Bean, Choo Choo and the Philly Flash. What one did you just say?
Life and Times of Judge Leroy Bean.
But what's the TV show?
The Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox. No, that was a movie.
Oh, that's a movie. Okay, I'm sorry.
Tom Horn. Another movie that we keep talking about a lot, Resurrection.
Not Alien Resurrection. Oh, yeah. Ooh, man.
Yeah. He was in Rhinestone.
Of course.
He was in The Two Jakes.
I saw that movie a lot. I think I saw that movie a lot, having no idea that it was basically the sequel to,
Actually a sequel to Chinatown. Before I go deep into his trivia here, I'll read off just a little bit. Richard Farnsworth, an American stuntman. You're like, wait a minute. He was a stuntman for 30 years before becoming an actor.
That's insane.
Scroll down there. 90 credits as a stuntman.
Wow.
And as you can expect, a ton of these were Westerns.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably why he was uncredited in Gone with the Wind. He did stunts in Gone with the Wind, Gunga Din, Grapes of Wrath, Apache Trail, Duel in the Sun. Why do I know that movie?
Is that like a World War II?
It's Joseph Cotton, Gregory Peck, Lionel Barrymore.
Gregory Peck. I've never tried out a Gregory Peck imitation before.
There's a reason
There's
why.
a reason why. Oh, it says he's in Blazing Saddles.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that already?
He did stunts in Blazing Saddles, too. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Cool. I love that movie.
The Omega Man. If you know Richard Farnsworth, he seems like just a quiet, solemn guy.
Well, I mean,
you wouldn't think of him as being just a rugged.
Yeah. I think of him being 100 years old. Because I think the first thing I saw him, I guess Misery probably would have been the first thing I saw him in.
Mm-hmm. But unbelievable credit history here.
That's awesome. Would you not love just once to just like clutch at your chest in the like second story of like a saloon or something and just flip over the railing into one of those big bags?
I would dig that. They should have stunt school.
Yes. Stunt school.
Okay, stopping the podcast right now. We are
starting our own
we
stunt
are
school.
Working on this.
Yeah.
I've got the backyard for it. There's plenty of things to hurt yourself on back there.
Fall off of and on to.
Richard Farnsworth doubled for Kirk Douglas, Henry Fonda, Montgomery Clift, Steve McQueen, and Roy Rogers.
He is not with us anymore. He passed away in 2000.
Shortly before his death, when asked by film critic Roger Ebert what he was most proud of in regard to his acting career, he replied that it was the fact that in over 60 movies, he's never said one cuss word.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Why?
It says here he is known for a dislike of four-letter words and was embarrassed by the language in The Getaway, 1994.
He probably had some problems with a bunch of the other things in The Getaway, too.
He was the oldest person to receive a Best Oscar nomination, 79 years old.
He's also been in a David Lynch movie, which is weird.
Which one?
Isn't The Straight Story a David Lynch joint?
I don't know what that is.
It's one of his last acting credits. It's the guy that drove his tractor like across America. I don't know if it was based on a true story, maybe.
No, I didn't know nothing about this. I didn't know David Lynch directed that either. Huh. An old man makes a long journey by lawnmower to mend his relationship with an ill brother.
That seems disingenuous.
It's a riding lawnmower. There's a picture of
Oh,
it
is
right
it?
there. Yes.
Oh, okay. It is like a John Deere riding lawnmower. Huh.
Wow, that's Sissy Spacek. Everett McGill's in there too.
I know.
He's the John Deere dealer. Tom, the John Deere dealer.
Boy, they're going to show you everything of his journey, picking it out, buying it.
Hey, Max the Wonder Dog played Farm Dog.
I thought you were going to say played Balthazar Getty.
To bring you down just a little bit here, he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
What?
After he was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh, Tim.
He said, fuck this. I'm living and dying on my own terms.
He said, I'm going to say one curse word right now. This is the only one I've ever said.
Fuck.
His final stunt. That was really dark. I'm glad that you set us up for just the most depressing deep dive we've ever done. Oh, man. How do you even come back from something like that?
From a self-inflicted gunshot wound? You don't.
Oh, man. I guess I'll turn in my lanyard, clean out my locker, because we're obviously done with the podcast now.
One last bad joke.
I kind of want to watch this movie now.
Which one? The Straight Story?
The Straight Story. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's going to be a lot of him talking over a...
Maybe. He's just screaming in his head.
You know, you'd get better gas mileage if you turned the rotor off.
What? Okay, never mind. I've lost my curiosity. I don't want to watch that.
Okay.
Why is Balthazar Getty in anything?
I don't know who he is.
Can you tell me who that is?
No.
I mean, like...
Why did you bring him up? Did it just pop into your head?
He's in at least a couple of David Lynch movies. He's in Lost Highway. He's the guy that Bill Pullman like turns into in that weird little time and reality are all 6s and 7s. I don't know.
He's a young guy. I thought he was a little older. No, he's younger than I am. Balthazar Getty. What a name.
Balthazar.
Who was one of the kids in Lord of the Flies. There you go.
Yeah. He was also in Young Guns 2, I think.
See that. Tom, he was the little kid, right? He was the... Yeah. He ended up getting shot or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody died in that one, except for Emilio.
Regulators!
They should have done a Mighty Ducks Young Guy, even though it doesn't happen in the same century.
But there should be a crossover.
It should have gone back in time.
All right, that concludes my Farnsworth.
Wow.
What was I forgot her name.
Episode? You want to call this the episode?
The Genie episode.
Episode 50.
Oh, we're on 50? Oh, wow.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Could be 49.
A lot of episodes.
Meanwhile, John Cullum is just in his IMDb because you made me bring it up. And then after that, you immediately quit talking about him. I don't even know what we were talking about.
Oh, dude. John Milius, screenwriter and director who came into prominence in the 1970s when he was associated with Francis Ford Coppola and the pre-Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. He was associated. He didn't write it. He didn't direct it. He was associated. There, you happy? You had it right.
At least I wasn't 100% wrong.
Right.
I was more like 90% wrong. Well, we've done it.
Mm-hmm. I've done my part. We still have a yarn to go down, but you need to talk about this email you sent me earlier. Go ahead and bring that up.
Let me get my other desktop open here.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to say that Richard Farnsworth was in a movie called A Few Days in Weasel Creek.
Oh, man. I bet the days in Weasel Creek just fly by.
Yep.
Where do you see that?
1981.
Feels like that would have jumped out at me. Weasel Creek.
Which reads, encounter and love between two people who go to the field. I don't know what any of that means.
What in the world does that mean? That sounds like it was written by a weasel to get people to come to Weasel Creek.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe.
Huh.
But I looked down here real quick at a girl named Amzie Strickland.
Okay.
Amzie. Amzie Strickland.
That's a weird name.
Don't recognize her. She looks like anybody from the 50s and 60s. 268 credits.
Huh. Pretty Woman, Doc Hollywood. Is this another stunt woman?
No, I would love to see her being in stunts.
Yeah, like you look at her face and you're like, I bet she would slide real good down a bar.
I bet she could take a punch.
I know that we talked about this. Is there a word for dragging somebody down a bar?
Oh.
Like Regal Beagle style?
There has to be. What would you call that? Margarita slide?
Yeah, maybe. Are you thinking of The Big Chill when Tom Berenger slides down the bar? That's a different one. He's actually instigated the slide on that one. He meant to do that because he had a gun in his hand.
Ah.
Remember when they all get around and watch his show that comes on that night?
Mm-hmm. And then they dare him to jump into the freaking car. Right. And
yeah, and the stick shift actually goes up. I remember that.
This girl, Amzie, was in The Legend of Lizzie Borden, 1975. You remember that? It was a TV movie with Elizabeth Montgomery.
I'd watch that right now.
Yeah. Ed Flanders is in that.
Cool.
Did not know that. Again, to our listeners who do not know who Ed Flanders is.
Look it up.
He was Father Dyer in Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
And Colonel Richard Fell in Ninth Configuration.
Oh, man. Remember that? Remember when we did that movie?
That was like our best favorite movie ever.
I think so.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyway, back to your stuff.
I just want to say one more thing about all this TV stuff. From the late 60s, I'd say mid 60s to probably right up to the 80s, cops were called the Fuzz. Remember that? Just wanted to bring that up because I don't know. Where do you think that came from?
Not sure. Somebody please email us and tell us what that means. What I could Google it, but I'd rather ask you.
I mean, Google's just a click away.
And speaking of, this girl Amzie was in one episode of Three's Company. So, yeah.
But she was the guy at the Regal Beagle that
got slid down the bar,
slammed through a table. I am loving the sweet old lady stunt woman. That's a movie right there.
Amzie, by the way, born in Oklahoma City.
Oh.
In 1919.
Jesus. That's all there was to do in Oklahoma City in 1919. Just throw yourself through windows.
All right. So that concludes my deep dive on Amzie Strickland.
And now that I'm thinking about it, that all started with sharks.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I talked about sharks a long time ago.
Seems like 3 hours ago. Well...
So, are you going straight into your Gore-a-torium?
I don't see any reason why not to. I don't see any reason why I almost couldn't say that sentence.
All right. Well, then cue the music. Cue the music.
Okay. You're going to put music in there, right?
No.
Well, okay. You'll be waiting a while. All right, so we can actually call this the Gore-a-torium. I know that I kind of had an issue with, maybe calling it the Gore-a-torium and then not having a...
And then talking about caveman.
Yeah, or talking about Dukes of Hazzard. But this is actually, I'm going to say the word gore a lot. Because I want to talk about...
Al Gore?
Oh, I wish... No, but I can talk like him for the rest of the episode. Where is he from? Who has that accent?
It sounds like he would definitely be going to Cletus's freaking museum, right?
Yeah. His voice is like an airplane when he keeps on like describing his, romance with
Yes.
and everybody keeps on killing themselves. Okay. So I want to talk about a guy with a weird name. His name is Charlie Richard Ballin.
You sure it's not balloon?
I don't know. And I didn't, when I experiment with saying it balloon, I don't like it. So I just said Ballin.
Remember when that old lady was like, the balloons, Norman.
Yeah.
The balloons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Norman's mom always wanted those balloons.
I was doing it on Golden Pond. So that's what.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why was I thinking Psycho?
And it was the loons and not.
Yeah, it was the loons.
But no, I always say balloons.
Is that like Casablanca where it's like, that was never said, like
Yes,
Cary Grant
probably.
didn't say Judy, Judy, Judy.
He said Judy.
He said it just like that. Judy.
Isn't that what's called adjudication?
Yep. Yep. You're right. Oh, man.
Sorry. Let me reel it back in. Charlie Richard Chaz Ballin.
Yep. His Wikipedia is really lacking, but there are a couple of really good, looks like they're horror movie sites that have a nice little page on him. He was pretty influential in the 80s and 90s. He was I'll just read from it. He was an accomplished graphic artist, screenwriter of the never-made Jim Van Bieber, or Beber.
One more time. Say that.
Jim Van Beber. That's a silly name.
I'm pretty sure you're just making up words and sounds.
This guy's name is Chaz. That guy's last name is Van Beber.
Okay.
And together, they wanted to make a movie called Chunk Blower. I can't believe that they never made that happen. That is actually one of his publishing... that's one of his businesses is Chunk Blower.
Chunk Blow Press.
I like that, actually.
Can you make a chunk blower out of just a leaf blower and bags of
chunks? Maybe Chunk from the Goonies.
I was just thinking that.
Stop it.
Jerk alert.
Chaz Ballin looks like he's probably done the Truffle Shuffle a couple of times. He looks kind of like a Muppet version of Toby Hooper.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But anyway, this is what I vaguely remember from being a child and being into horror movies, is that he's written several books, and they're all guides to horror movies of the time. So these came out so his first book came out in 83 would have been his first book, The Connoisseur's Guide to the Contemporary Horror Film, which I've never read.
I want it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, by the way, all these books that I'm going to be listing are incredibly hard to find and are often, if you find them on eBay or Amazon, their price is like insanely inflated. I think the Lucio Fulci book Beyond the Gates that he wrote, it's currently going for like $700 or something on.
Yikes.
I might have the Gore score somewhere packed away with all my comics and stuff. And I believe that was the original book that I bought of his. And I'm pretty sure that I bought it at Cosmic Quest, which was a comic book store in Tulsa long time ago. They've long been shut down. Anyway, so it was a little, like, imagine a Leonard Maltin review book, but for just horror movies. You know, I was so limited. It's insane thinking about us just being able to click a button and look up all this stuff on Wikipedia and IMDb, because back then you had to actually find either the movie or, you know, the Fangoria that was in, or the Starlog, or, you know, you had to track this shit down. And I found out about so many movies from that original Gore Score book. And yes, it is the one that has the girl from City of the Living Dead mid chunk blow, I guess.
That's very good.
I guess you could call that a chunk blow.
Just blowing her own intestines out.
Blowing your own chunks.
Yeah.
Girls, get out there and blow your own chunks. Don't let a guy do it for you. So that came out in 87. I mean, I was like, 12 or 13. He introduced me to Italian horror films. And if you look at his books, he also had a magazine called Deep Red, which is also a Argento movie. And he wrote for Fangoria also. I think he had a column in one of those, Fangoria or Gore Shriek, or one of those horror mags.
Gore Zone.
Gore Zone, yes. I'm wearing the shirt right now and I couldn't think of the name. Anyway, so he is known for pretty scathing, but funny reviews. His writing style is great, which is probably why I was drawn to it. I mean, I was already watching horror movies, but as we've gone through on this podcast before, nothing quite can compare to the Italians. He was a big Fulci fan. I think Fulci gave him a quote for a couple of these books. They were actually had met and were friends, and I think Chaz Ballin had a lot to do with Fulci's movies becoming more
mainstream,
available, and more people knew about him from his reviews. And like in the Gore Zone, he would give, they're like skulls.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Troll would have like a half a skull, while Evil Dead would have 5 skulls. I also had a book called Horror Holocaust. I don't think it was reviews. I think it was, again, just kind of him just, describing these movies that I probably wasn't able to get my hands on. I mean, either Gates of Hell or House by the Cemetery might have been one of the first Italian gore movies I had seen. He's got 10 or 12 books about horror movies. Oh, wow. He has one fiction, I believe, Ninth and Hell Street.
Is he still with us?
No, he passed away in 2000, I believe.
Okay.
No, 2009.
But did he write any screenplays at all? You said he was trying to get Chunk Blower.
He has kind of a, that guy's going to come back up, Jim Van Beber. I don't know. It is a real guy. Google Chaz Ballin. There's a couple of interviews with him on YouTube.
Okay.
In one of those, he is reviewing one of Jim Van Beber's other movies. Jim Van Beber, I was trying to figure out how not to. This guy's going to come up again later.
Okay.
Maybe I can wait long enough that it'll be a surprise again. But he had a movie called Deadbeat at Dawn. Mm-hmm. Just a ultra low budget. Like, imagine like Bad Taste. That's kind of what you're getting. It's all like elbow grease, and everybody in it is a friend of a friend or part of the family, and what it lacks in, filmmaking quality, it makes up for in just insanity. This guy tried to top himself every time. Anyway, now forget that I said any of that, because I want to do that movie later. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, there's an interview of him at Fantasia Fest.
Okay.
It seems like these maybe like pop culture and kind of horror related festivals. There's a few of them now. I want to say 96 was the first Fantasia Fest. I didn't quite get my reading in. I don't know if Chaz Ballin had something to do with the start of these. It looks like he did, but I cannot figure out where. But, you know, they're kind of like horror Sundance. You know, I think people bring their stuff and scripts get kind of shopped around and stuff, you know.
Okay.
I have that tab open for a reason. And I think it's because he had something to do with it. But anyway, there's a video on YouTube of him kind of trashing Jim Van Beber's. It wasn't Deadbeat at Dawn. It was something else that he took there.
Was that the Manson family?
Oh yeah, it is a Charles Manson movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's a Canadian film festival.
Right.
So anyway, I just thought it was funny. He is kind of trashing Jim Van Beber about it. He's talking about Charlie's family. He's in the theater, and then it cuts to a video of Jim Van Beber like being, well, I don't know why he's, you know, bad mouthing me. I don't know. It was kind of sad and funny at the same time. But anyway, if you do some looking around, like I found the More Gore Score, which is the sequel to the Gore Score.
Okay.
I told you I'd say gore a lot.
So the More Gore Score looks like it came out in 1987.
It says self-published in 1985, but better known in the 87 Fantico edition. So
Gotcha.
That's probably the one that I had.
These are awesome. I want these. And actually, I just saw that the Connoisseur's Guide to Contemporary Horror Film, there was one on eBay for like $30.
Right.
Granted, that's a 64-page book review compilation.
Yeah, they're not huge. But the More Gore Score, which I think was made just a little bit later, it was in 92. So he is basically covering everything after, you know, from where the Gore Score left off.
Gotcha.
5, 6, 7, 8. It's got Friday the 13th, part 8. But the More Gore Score had an introduction by Jack Ketchum, a lengthy afterword by Stephen R. Bissett, which is amazing artist.
Okay.
He did Swamp Thing in the 80s, and he's amazing. Oh yeah, so More Gore Score came out the same year as the Blair Witch Project, which he called an incompetent, scare-free amateur home video. So, you know me, I don't believe that at all, but
well, you don't have to believe his opinion to enjoy his writing. Yes.
Exactly. That is exactly right. 1989's Night Visitor, he called it goat shit served hot and runny on stale toast.
I saw that.
Which I feel like throwing up now.
Tell our audience, though, what you're reading from now.
Okay, this is on thebedlamfiles.com. And it's, you know, if you search for Chaz Ballin, that's probably like the 4th or 5th result on Google. But there are other, it's just that his Wikipedia and also his IMDb just did not have a lot of information, but this website does have a lot of stuff. You know, horror fans like me, I mean, we were eating this stuff up, but I don't know if he pissed some people off with his reviews, but ultimately, who cares?
But it looks like he's got some really cool stuff in here that's...
Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say earlier is, just putting it out there, the More Gore Score, you can actually read at the Internet Archive.
That's just on archive.org.
More Gore Score. This is when, like, you had to, like, mail order stuff, and I think that's how I got Horror Holocaust. I think I sent off for it, you know? I, like, sent a check for it or something.
Oh, wow.
Because, you know, you just couldn't find that stuff. And it was also hard to find those movies. You know, you really had to dig around, like my little video store. They had some, I mean, that's where I was renting Gates of Hell from. So they had some stuff, but...
yeah, so we've got in here, even on the More Gore Score, he gave Bad Taste 4 skulls.
Yeah.
while he gave arachnophobia 2 skulls.
I wonder why.
No, Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat, 1.5.
Yeah, not great.
Body parts, 2.5 skulls.
See, I would probably agree with that.
Child's Play 2, 1/2 skull.
Ooh.
But it all goes in alphabetical order.
It's very much like that original, like, who did I say? The other real movie critic? Leonard Maltin. Good Lord.
Forgot about that guy already.
Oh my goodness. He gave Laser Blast 3 stars. He also gave, like, Apocalypse Now 3 stars. So
3 stars for Exorcist 3 skulls.
I think that's a fair assessment. I don't know what he's doing in the more gore score. There's 2 ratings, so I'm not real sure what that blood splatter one is. I think it explains it at the very beginning.
No, I see a dog in here under Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes, which, fair
Is
enough.
that 0 skulls?
Fair enough. It just says bow wow on the rating system, so I guess. But then he's got that separate rating that says the gore score concerns itself with nothing but the quantity of blood. I see. So the one in splatter is simply how much gore you're getting per capita. It's not necessarily a
gotcha.
Review of the. But there are still movies in these that are more informative than what you would find if you just Googled it.
Yeah.
Like Last House on Dead End Street.
Yeah, I saw it listed there.
I
have no idea.
I don't either. After Last House on the Left came out, there were a ton of like kind of copycat movies like that were basically just like a home invasion type situation.
Mm-hmm.
But this Last House on Dead End Street, probably what they were lacking in story, they just made up for in violence.
Gotcha.
I don't know that I've ever seen that movie before. I need to find it. But just stuff like that. Like you find these little gems, that you hardened horror movie watcher thought you had seen everything.
I'm going to keep this open on my desktop so I can flip through it and read this. This is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I am who I am.
Because of shit like this.
Because of this dude. I mean, that's how long ago this was. I just don't even remember like how I ended up with that book, but I'm glad that I did. You can pretty much read Gore Score, the second one. What the hell did I call it? More Gore Score at the Internet Archive for free.
Yep. I'm already flipping through it.
Leaf through it.
Extro 2 got 2 skulls.
I'd say that's 1.5 skulls too much. Have you ever heard of I'm Dangerous Tonight?
No.
I kind of remember him like taking the piss with Toby Hooper. I mean, everybody agrees about Massacre, and then I don't think anybody liked anything after that.
Toby Hooper did I'm Dangerous Tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a TV movie, maybe?
TV movie from 1990.
Wow.
When Amy turns an ancient Aztec priest's cloak into a dress, she discovers it's cursed, and whoever wears it comes evil under its influence. It has Madshana Mick.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Arlie Ermy.
Now you're just thinking of weird names.
Mm-hmm. Dee Wallace. Anthony Perkins. Ed Trotta. I don't know who that is. I just wanted to say it. Trotta.
Sounds like you're calling him into your office. Is he related to the Globetrotters?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That was right after Spontaneous Combustion.
Oh, man.
I've never seen that either, by the way.
Really?
No.
We ought to both watch it and like talk about it.
Because Brad Dourif's in it, yeah.
Yep.
And Dick Butkus is in it.
Oh, most unfortunately named person in the universe. Okay, so he's got 2 body parts in both of his first name and last name. Dick and Butt. His parents hated him. But I mean, like, imagine just having this little book, like, out and about.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love the thought. I mean, you could look up any of this stuff now, but just having that book would be really great.
So the Deep Red Horror Handbook, was that just over Dario Argento? Or was it the same type of thing?
I don't remember. And I think I actually had that book, too. I just don't remember. Ooh, I remember him talking about Necromantic, too.
You know...
Disgusting movie.
I don't think I watched part 2, which I looked like he had 2.5 stars for Necromantic 2.
Hey.
It has such a big cult following.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when somebody brought that up to the counter at the video store, I actually threw it across the room and told them they couldn't rent it.
Yeah. We just put it on the shelf to test you guys. You sick freak. Cops are on their way. You had it at Pickles?
We had part 1 and part 2.
Surely it was a cut version or something, because I think
have no idea.
I think it was. I think I remember that was for sure not you weren't getting that one with all the... Let's stop talking about Necromantic.
Yeah. Beyond Horror Holocaust, a deeper shade of red.
And that is that's in the 2000s. So
Yes.
So there's a Gore Score 2001, which I've never looked at. I think that one might actually be available at not a crazy cost. I just realized that is a Street Trash image on the front of that guy screaming with his face melting.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's Wizzy on the front, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wizzy.
Took me a minute. Wizzy.
His name's Wizzy. Short for Wisenfeld.
Chaz wrote another book as well. An actual fiction book called Butcher's Pride.
Yeah. Looks just like any of those like trashy paperbacks from the 80s.
20-page Butcher's Pride. So,
okay. Well, might be...
It's a short story, right?
Might be bad, but at least it's not long.
An impressively concentrated exercise and splatterific excess.
Okay.
Somebody had their thesaurus out.
Oh, look at this. Lesions, pits, sacks of slippery globule-like things hanging from his stomach. Things which were shaped like a newly designed prototype for future organs attached to him, inside him, hanging from his body. That was just a quote from Butcher's Pride.
All she could do is look down, lipless, tongueless, dying in horror, as she pulled her beating heart out from her chest into his famished mouth.
He was hungry. I like Dying in Horror. That's a good band name, too.
Yeah. So it looks like another novel here called Ninth and Hell Street.
And they're calling this splatterpunk fiction. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I guess like Return of the Living Dead. It could be considered like splatterpunk, I suppose.
Sure.
Which, if that's the case, that's my favorite type of movie.
Let's see here. It's pretty thin premise, but plotting clearly wasn't Balan's primary interest. It's red stuff that really matters here, lovingly enumerated in prose. That's downright pornographic in its fetishistic detail.
Okay.
That's a hard word to say.
Mm-hmm. Fetishistic.
Fetishistic.
Another good band name. These are kind of out of order because that says that was put out in 89.
Well, I think this is his fiction versus his
right.
nonfiction reviews.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, they just left those at the end. Oh my God. I just had a flashback of like when I was looking at all of this stuff. Remember when you could buy scripts? I guess when I did it, I thought it was just a cool thing to have. But then I realized that like, you know, you could use it in like drama.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Might have had the script to like Lost Boys or something. I think that was probably my favorite movie.
I've got the hardback script for Pulp Fiction right here beside me, in fact.
Wow. Now, where did that come from? Oh, I guess that's just kind of like, you can find that type of thing anywhere now.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. That's cool.
And I have no idea where it came from. I may have stolen it from you.
Maybe.
So there's another novella that he wrote called Director's Cut.
Mm-hmm.
It was the final work of fiction by Balin. It's 82 pages. Setting is really based on a horror nerd that Balin knew extremely well.
Yeah. What was he, like 6'1", sandy blonde beard? Name rhymes with, well, Chaz. I couldn't think of anything else. Whose fucking name is Chaz?
All right, so very interesting stuff.
Yeah, and, you know, I tend to do this. I set all this up for you guys, and then I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of hard to find any of this stuff. But,
yeah,
you know, look around. Look on eBay. Check your comic book store.
I would have never known about this guy if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, well, I really think he is responsible for turning me on to so many of these weird... I mean, this starts the weird, like, collecting and trying to actually find these things. I guess I'm pretty lucky that my small rental store, just a little mom and pop store, I think they knew they were making money off of those weird...
I get that.
Sleepover movies and, you know...
Like I said, you know, we had that small section of just gory shit, which included, you know, all of the Faces of Death movies.
Right.
There was Traces of Death.
Yes.
All sorts of crap, including necromantic and just stuff that we just lumped in together because it didn't have any real... Just wanted to separate it from just your basic horror flicks. So
yeah, you don't want kids blowing chunks all over your empty movie boxes.
But good stuff. I'm still flipping through this Internet Archive on the More Gore Score. I will put up a link on this on our website as well.
Cool.
I'll probably lump it in with movies that we've covered. So anybody who wants to find a link to this that does not just want to type it in, I will have it up there.
Cool.
Remind me to put it up there.
I will.
All right. But I'm going to be using this as well to find some other shit.
Yeah, for sure. I have a few of the Fangorias that he wrote little... I can't think of what the name of his column was. Oh, it's for Gore Zone, and it's called the Peace O' Mind column.
Okay.
He did that from 88 to 91, and I actually have some of those, so maybe in future episodes I'll read some of that stuff. Yeah,
I wish I would have kept my collection of Fangoria.
I have a few of them as PDFs, and luckily I have, you know, the Evil Dead 2 one with the Henrietta monster on the front was like, I mean, just read and reread so many times that it eventually just fell apart.
Well, awesome. Chaz Balin, thank you for your service.
Yep.
You will be missed by at least a few people.
Yes. Created gorehounds around the nation.
All right. Well, let's just move on and try to wrap up the yarn wall here and try to get to next week's movie.
Yep. Whatever the hell weird-ass movie you're going to make us watch.
I'm keeping it simple this week. And I'm going to take us to a movie that we've talked about getting to and we've skipped past and we've talked about briefly. And you could probably name it right now just from dropping one simple hint. But let's go and talk about Dead Alive for a minute.
Okay.
We talked about the different actors in this movie that just did not go on to do many things, or if they did do anything, they were mainly tied to Peter Jackson.
Right. You got New Zealand, like daytime TV, like New Zealand soap operas, and just gross splatter movies.
And I kept looking at this one thing called The Last Tattoo.
Okay.
Which it sounds more interesting than it actually is.
Right.
But it's during World War II. A small nation of New Zealand is swarmed with U.S. servicemen who mingle with local female population.
And by mingle,
they mean that,
You know, the old, you know, the old, you know what I'm talking about, right?
which this movie has Rod Steiger, Robert Loggia,
Oh,
guys you really want to see do the,
yeah. Guys you really want to see without their shirts on.
and Tony Goldwyn is in here. Since you brought up Last House on the Left, he was in the remake of Last House on the Left.
I don't know that I've viewed that.
The new one, I can't recall if I have or not. If I did watch it, it just didn't hold my interest like the original. But he was also in the Belko Experiment, which I really enjoyed that as well.
I don't know that.
You didn't watch it? That was 2016, just recently, about a twisted social experiment. 80 Americans are locked in the high-rise corporate office in Bogota, Colombia. Ordered by an unknown voice coming from the company's intercom system to participate in a deadly game of kill or be killed.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Was a lot of fun. Has John C. McGinley.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen that. That was good.
Yep.
That was good.
Michael Rooker's in there. A lot of people being killed with like staplers or
Yeah. Or staplers. Sorry. I'm confused.
I was bringing up Last Tattoo because that also had Timothy Balm in it, who was our main character in Dead Alive. He played Lionel.
Okay.
Okay. And also had Jed Brophy.
Oh, Brophy.
Brophy, he played Void.
Okay,
Is that his
yeah.
name? Void?
Yeah. The punk, kind of the rockabilly guy.
Yeah.
That mom, like, turned him into like a Cuisinart thing on his junk.
He was kind of like one of the bosses in the movie, you would actually say.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I liked him in that movie.
Stuart Devaney, who played Father Magruder. He was in The Frighteners. When I think about The Frighteners, I don't necessarily think about Peter Jackson right away. I just don't.
That is a strange entry into his filmography.
But it worked. I enjoyed
did
The
like
Frighteners. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the first movies I recognized Jake Busey in, right?
Yeah. You're like, should he be out in the sunlight? Shouldn't they be doing something about that? Put a tarp over him? He's the original Powder to me.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Huge teeth.
Yeah. Like a horse.
Anyway.
What is that? Oh my God. That's from Power Rangers. That is a very disturbing looking, makeup below Stuart Devaney. Sorry, I just now am clicking on him, and he played I guess he played the actual actor under the makeup in a
Power Rangers Mystic Force.
I guess. I don't know. Weird.
Of all the things we talk about,
Uh-huh.
that bothered you.
Yeah, yes. I don't know what those Asian people get up to. I love their movies, but they're very weird. Very weird. Wild.
Did you say that you watched Meet the Feebles?
I did. I used to have it on DVD. I might still have it somewhere.
See, we had that at the video store, but I don't think anybody rented it.
It's disgusting. It really is gross. There is like a lot of poop being thrown around.
Nasty Muppets.
Basically, it actually has a quote on it from a Leonard Maltin. Yeah, Village Voice said, "So tasteless it scrapes genius." Disgusting, vile, and outrageous, and we mean that lovingly. Terribly funny and terribly sick. So yeah, I think it was his kind of answer to the Muppets, which, geez, Peter. I mean, I like the Muppets.
one of the biggest directors now who
Yeah.
started with something like this.
I know there's a quote somewhere that says this is like Muppets on acid or like HR Puffin stuff on acid. Which HR Puffin stuff was HR Puffin stuff on acid. So everybody was doing every drug around that time.
If you look at Peter Jackson's shit here, if you look at his trivia, he's been married to Fran Walsh since 1987. And I believe it was 1989 when Meet the Feebles came out, and she co-wrote that with him. What kind of a relationship does he have with his wife that he can create this?
Yeah. Like a giant naked woman hippo.
He probably has a grand relationship with his wife. I mean,
I'm sure.
They're still married since 1987, and they've created some fantastic things.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
What about Heavenly Creatures? Did you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
I think I've seen that, but I thought it was boring at the time.
It is kind of boring, but it gets really fantastical later, and it's based on a true story.
Okay.
And Kate Winslet is freaking awesome in it. I love Melanie Linsky.
Yeah, I love her so much I can mispronounce her name every time I try to say it.
Yes. Who she most recently was in Castle Rock.
I see that. It was Molly Strand. I have no idea who she is.
That's pretty sad that I'm sure that these are all like Stephen King references that I should get. And some of them were just like even over my head, but
I think they canceled that series, right? But
yes,
hopefully they're going to be bringing it right back. Hopefully it's going to be picked up from somebody else. We'll see.
Yeah, I did like it. It was very weird.
I brought that up to you just, I think yesterday maybe, because I was watching part of The Dark Half.
Mm-hmm.
In The Dark Half, Alan Pangborn is played by
Michael Rooker.
God damn
Michael Rooker.
Exactly. When that came straight from fucking Mallrats, did it not?
It was the commentary for Mallrats.
And we can't stop saying his name like that.
No, I think that's just how you are supposed to say it.
So Michael Rooker plays Sheriff Alan Pangborn in The Dark Half. Mm-hmm. The same character in Castle Rock is played by Scott Glenn.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Both good choices for that role, I would think. I enjoy both of them.
I think somebody's probably gone through Castle Rock and made all these connections for us. We'll have that next time on.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to pop something out.
My brain is a bunch of noodles.
Did you watch season 2 of Castle Rock?
I did not. Okay. Well, we watched the first episode and we were like, we don't know what's going on. And then we just stopped it.
It's totally different story all around.
Yeah.
But it basically follows Annie Wilkes, played by Lizzie Kaplan.
Right. Young Annie Wilkes.
Right. Which Lizzie Kaplan, I've always loved her. She's amazing.
Yep.
She's so damn cute.
Mm-hmm.
But I started looking at her with the TV show that was Party Down.
Oh, yeah. I have never seen that, and everybody says that it's amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Don't they have a new season or something coming out? I saw something about it.
Nope, I have no information on that whatsoever.
Well, why'd you bring it up?
So, but I bring up this because it's still kind of tied into what I'm talking about today. And let's just back up totally. Let's just look at Jed Brophy, since everything we're talking about is connected to Jed Brophy.
You would say Jed?
Jed?
Okay, that's what I was getting at.
Go ahead and do it.
Jed! I don't know. She was saying it at a frequency that was just insane. Could kill birds.
All right. So Jed Brophy, has 53 credits under his belt here. Most recent is one called Killer Sofa. I want to see this.
Now, I have Deathbed, but you're saying now there's a Killer Sofa, too. That would be a good double feature of just furniture that can kill you.
Killer Sofa reads, a killer reclining chair becomes enchanted by a girl and starts committing crimes of passion. But it says Killer Sofa, but they're talking about a recliner, okay?
Yeah, those are two different things, guys. I don't even think that's a, like, regionalism or anything. I think they just fucked up.
Where do we draw the line, guys?
I'm looking at Jed Brophy, just so we're on the same page here. He is never not in makeup.
Oh, is that right?
Because in Lord of the Rings, he's a lot of, like orcs, and he's always in, like, heavy makeup.
He was Sharku and Snagga.
Oh, man. Can you imagine?
Did they have to name all the orcs?
Actually, you're not pronouncing it right. That's too much. Just orc number 3 would be fine with me. Let's not give him names.
He was in a movie called The Dead Room.
Okay.
In 2015, where a terrified family flees a desolate southern New Zealand farmhouse. 2 cynical scientists and a young psychic are sent to investigate their claims of a haunting. Cynical scientists.
Cynical scientist.
He traveled around with Peter Jackson all over the place. District 9, King Kong. It looks like every one of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He had a bit part in. He was in Heavenly Creatures. But started off with Dead Alive with him. Didn't go before that.
Wow. I was just thinking, like, being in the ground floor with, like, Peter Jackson, like, growing up with him and stuff, that'd be like, I'm set for fucking life. I'm going to follow this dude around.
But anyway, not a bad career for this guy. So if you can pick any one of the Hobbit series or Lord of the Rings, you can go down there and find every character you want.
Oh my God.
But we're going to go with just the first person on the list here, Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh, thank God.
So if I bring up Ian McKellen, then you know what movie we're doing next week.
I do.
Go right ahead. So the audience will know how much we're on the same wavelength.
It is 80s movie. I don't have the exact year.
1983.
83.
83.
It is a F. Paul Wilson adapted, right? From an F. Paul Wilson book.
Yes.
Called The Keep.
The Keep.
It's got a very young, somehow young Ian McKellen, but he still is like 70 years old. They put a lot of makeup on him in that because he goes back and forth, but it's like seeing him young, you know? It's like seeing young Jean-Luc Picard.
Gotcha. Yes. Patrick Stewart.
They were young at one time.
He had hair in one movie.
Yes, right. Okay, so I can click off of The Illustrated Man, which I thought at one time that's where you're going, and I'll click off of The Kindred, which is also where I thought you were going with that.
Very good. Nazis are forced to turn to a Jewish historian for help in battling an ancient demon they have inadvertently freed from its prison.
Inadvertent. I mean, they didn't listen to any of the warnings. You had me going all over the place. There was Scott Glenn mentioned, but then now that's not even how you got to the movie. And
right.
I'm all
but that's
confused.
what I'm saying. Everybody's tripped over everybody. It's an easy yarn to get here.
Yes, there probably were other ways to do it too. There's just so many connections.
So we have Scott Glenn, Jurgen Prochnow.
Yep.
Gabriel Byrne, Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Who else is in here? Peter Guinness. I love his beer. Directed by Michael Mann.
Yep.
This is probably the easiest way to get to a Michael Mann film,
Yeah.
which this one belongs in the moratorium.
For sure. And it still has not been released on Blu-ray, I don't think.
That's what I was reading.
I am looking at the VHS right now. I have it up on my shelf.
Awesome.
It also is another Tangerine Dream
Exactly.
soundtrack. Gotta love that.
Which is maybe the reason why it's been in the moratorium as well.
Maybe so. Do you think that they're like keeping all this stuff?
We'll talk about that more next week because I don't want to go
Interesting.
into the trivia now
Okay, good. I like this.
because there is a lot to talk about.
Yep. I've been wanting to do this one for so long that I've already got I've done some research already.
Ah.
So
You've got a file already open.
I also have read the book too. I don't know if that'll help during one scene. That's the only
Just one scene.
Just one scene. I will have some clarification, hopefully, for.
And from what I read, though, that Paul F. Wilson did not like this adaptation of his book.
Yeah, it's just the story is slightly different. Feels like there should be a director's cut of The Keep that would explain some of this.
I wish there was. It says, actually, in the trivia, the first cut of this film was 3.5 hours long.
Ooh.
You can rent this for as low as $2.99
Oh, cool. On Amazon?
on Amazon, but you can watch it for free on Popcorn Flicks.
Oh, okay.
No, the YouTube versions, they're trying to charge you for it. So every one of them that have been put up for free have been ultimately taken down.
Man, come on, guys. It does say you can still get it on DVD.
Which I would love to listen to the commentary on this one as well.
Oh, for sure.
It's bound to be good. So, but if you go to Popcorn Flicks, you can watch The Keep for free. 1 hour and 36 minutes long. So 2 hours of this movie were cut.
God.
I can't imagine, but I want to say, can we get a Criterion collection of this?
Yeah.
There's got to be a Criterion.
I mean, I'm looking at the Amazon reviews, and they are all like unwatchable, bad quality VHS transfer, low quality junk. Yeah, you haven't been able to see this in all its glory in a long time.
It deserves it.
Well, awesome. It also has one of the coolest like covers ever, too.
Oh, I dig it. It reminds me of the Hedge Maze.
Yeah, a little bit.
The cover does, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I got this confused with The Terror when I was like renting. They kind of look a little similar.
What's The Terror?
It's like an old, I want to say it's like Boris Karloff or something, maybe.
But you are right. Boris Karloff, 1963, The Terror. Directed by Roger Corman.
Yeah. Always back to Roger.
They had Jack Nicholson, Dick Miller. Enough about that.
Yeah. We knew all that already.
Yep.
Before next week, we will tell you the proper way to pronounce Jurgen Prochnow. Is it Jurgen Prochnow? Is it Jurgens like the soap? Or
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. He was in Das Boot, which is just the boot. Oh wait, the boat. I'm sorry. That would have been funny if it was just about a boot. Is that it? Did we do it?
That's it. We did it.
Wow.
You've been wanting to do this movie since day one. This has
Yep.
been on our list.
We kind of go in and out of our criteria for what actually constitutes a moratorium movie, and this one for sure, it's unavailable. I mean, we're not going to lie. You're going to have to do some work, but you'll be glad that you did.
It's probably the shortest Michael Mann movie ever.
You're right. Man, if there's ever like a collector's edition, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So, Jason, tell everybody where they can find our stuff.
I know one place that you can is at themoratorium.com.
Themoratorium.com.
And you can also follow us on social media.
I am working on our OnlyFans page.
Okay. Guys, it's going to be really dark. There's going to be one candle. So.
And it's still going to be unsightly pictures.
more than you More than you want to see.
On our OnlyFans page, you can pay us to put clothes on.
Yeah. Yep. Just like drag and drop. That'd be fun.
That would be good.
Let's do that.
All right. I know this is a couple of weeks now, but Krista just released another blog post about Dorothy Scott, an unsolved true crime mystery.
I have not read the first part yet, but
every time she brings me a new blog, I spend a day or so just researching because she doesn't give me any hints on what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go in and do some research and see if I can find some more information. Mm-hmm. There are several trails that go down of who could have committed this crime against Dorothy Scott. And I'm not going to tell you about it. You're just going to have to read it.
Okay.
Very creepy stuff.
Okay.
I will still try to get some T-shirt makings. We've got to finish our podcat design.
Oh.
And hopefully we'll get some more designs up there. You can always support us on our Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or if you don't even want to go for monthly, you can just throw us a bone, buy us a beer. We would appreciate it.
I know I would.
I'm thirsty.
Me too.
For $3 a month on our Patreon, though, you can find our director's cut. So our extended long edition of the movie podcast, you can get straight to your ear holes for $3 a month. There's at least 20 minutes that I cut out of the episode. So your director's cut's at least 20 minutes longer.
Wow.
Good stuff. And a lot of that is just us cackling madly into the microphones.
Yeah. But it's chock full of vitamins and minerals. So that's important.
It's good for you.
Yep, it is.
All right, Jason, do you have anything else to add?
Nope, that's it. Just that we did it again.
We did it. Let's shut this bitch down.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Meow.
You've been listening to The Yarn Wall, an MT Cornfield production. Tune in next week when Jason and I brave the darkened horror halls of The Keep. You can find a link to The Keep on themoratorium.com. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tip your waiter. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.
You need to turn up the levels on my wife blowing her nose at the very end of the... This is like the perfect period. You can actually hear it hit the back of the Kleenex. Like a hockey puck.
She's been waiting for 2.5 hours to blow her nose.
I think so.
I'm so glad you're done.
Now she's going to have to do that on every episode.